Well, to look at this, I have an energy analyst, Marcel Ayahu, is going to be joining me via Skype. And later, Director General, Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry will also be joining us to speak more on this. But let me start with Marcel. Marcel, great to have you join us on the show.
It's my pleasure, Tolu.
Marcel, I know you must have been keeping yourself up to speed with this meeting in Austria. What are your expectations? Let's start this way. Are we looking at a boost? Are we looking at a cut?
Well, the swing can take either ways, but my expectation, with the little experience I have in the industry and the global energy outlook, I'm seeing a production boost. I'm seeing an increase in production of crude oil.
Now, for a country like Nigeria, where do you think we should stand at this time?
Well, you realize, Tolu, that the OPEC deal and non-OPEC deal to increase the prices of crude oil in the global market and to cut production so as to stabilize pricing, to some extent has favored Nigeria and Nigeria economy. So Nigeria as a country will always support a retention of the present production cut deal.
Indeed, they will. But let's look at the proposal, talking about Saudi Arabia and non-member like Russia pushing to raise production again in order to meet the growing demand for the second half of 2018. What do you think about this move?
I think the major players there, America and India, the highest consumer of crude oil globally. You realize sometime last month and presently the prices of crude oil in the global market went up over $80 per barrel. And there is this call for the OPEC cartel to pedal and review the production cut deal. You saw what is happening, you are seeing what is happening in Venezuela presently, and the sanction imposed on Iran by America. This resulted to somewhat cut in the already existing production cuts. You know, none of OPEC countries achieved over 170% of the production cut deal, same as the non-OPEC countries. So you find out that there is somewhat shortage to a great deal of supply of crude oil in the global market. And what America is calling for is for OPEC countries to have a review so as to up supply and to make sure that the prices of crude oil do not go haywire in the global market.
Indeed, but one thing that many have also said might influence the decision at this meeting is uncertainty in potential. They're talking about Chinese tariffs on the U.S. crude imports that Beijing may also impose in an escalating trade war between the United States and
America.
Yes.
Yes, that is correct. But you know, China is the highest consumer of American crude. So a situation where China refused to buy American crude, that will make America to start looking elsewhere and to further increase the production outputs and the supply in the global market. So I think it is a very good thing that both OPEC and the non-OPEC countries should come to a compromise in terms of production, not too high in terms of supply and not too low. I think both Russia and Saudi Arabia have proposed like 1 million barrels per day increase in the output. I think that would be a very good deal.
You just talked about India, and the recent surge in crude oil prices have actually increased India's oil import bill and burden, talking about trade deficit. So definitely they want to protect their interest.
That's what is happening. It's about global diplomacy. It's about trade politics. That is what is playing out. So every country wants to protect its interest.
So as it is now, talking about the 1 million barrel per day that Russia and Saudi Arabia is proposing, may not go down well with other countries.
Definitely not.
Even a country like Nigeria that already has a budget on 2.3 million barrels per day, that
will not go down with countries that are enjoying the deficit in the supply of crude oil. Like Nigeria, we have a projection of 2.3 million barrels, and we have benchmark at $50.5 per barrel. This is the budget we are running with. So a situation where there is an increase in the supply of crude oil, someone will affect the pricing of crude oil in the global market. It's already doing 74 or thereabout, from over $80 per barrel. So a country like Nigeria, it might not really be our own interest to support such move.
Indeed, but even the meeting started, already the effect has been seen on the price of
the price is already coming down. It's already taking a downward trend.
So is it the uncertainty that is responsible for this, or what is responsible for that?
Well, you know there is crisis in Venezuela, there is crisis in Libya, Algeria, and the sanction on Iraq. These countries put together is supposed to push in well over 500,000 barrels per day in the global market. So this shortage, as a result of these uncertainties, has really affected the production. So I think that's what Russia and Saudi Arabia are trying to do to cover the gap that has been created by this shortage in supply.
Indeed. Master Alan, you hold your thoughts there. We'll take a break and we'll return and continue this discussion. We'll be right back and continue talking crude oil price, the meeting in Vienna, Austria, and how it affects Nigeria and, of course, other oil producing nations. Stay with Business Nigeria. We'll be right back. All right, thank you for staying tuned. Energy analyst Marcel Anyanwu is still there via Skype. We're looking at the ongoing biannual meeting of the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries in Vienna, Austria. We'll be looking at issues that could come out at the end of this meeting. Now, Marcel, I was able to gather that also yesterday, Iran's minister walked out of preparatory talks. Many say this shows that a prospect that a deal might not be reached. I don't know if you think that way.
I think that's not far from the sanction imposed on Iran by America. Iran will never support an increase in output in the global market by OPEC. Iran will never support that. So this is expected. Is expected, even though it was a little bit rude to have walked out of a meeting by oil ministers. So it's not, but it's expected that Iran will never support the deal. Nigeria, it might sound good from the local front here. You know, 90% of our energy consumption down here are imported. We're import dependent in terms of our energy consumption. So it's like garbage in, garbage out. We sell crude oil at a very high price, then we import at a very high price. So Nigeria is not adding more to the common masses.
Energy analyst, let's leave it at that for now. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us, Business Nigeria.